Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. Prime Minister commends members of the Baptist faith for their tenacity as the St. Barbara's Primary School is finally a reality. Local government councillors urged to be more proactive in delivery of services to their constituents. And in our sport feature, we hear about the involvement of the Ministry of Sport in the TNT Pro League. When we come back, our top story.
Come to our beaches. We're looking out for you.
Thank you for staying with us. Delighted members of the Baptist faith witnessed an historic moment on the occasion of spiritual Shouter Baptist Liberation Day with the official opening. That should be with the official opening of the St. Barbara's Shouter Baptist Primary School at Maloney. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessor, in the official opening at the school, praised the Baptist community for its tenacity as she described the event as a momentous one that exemplified the history of faith and determination that members of the faith have demonstrated, or that should be demonstrated, through the years. Verna Barrett has more in this report.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessor is commending the spiritual Baptist community for what she calls their unwavering commitment to their faith. Speaking at the ceremony to officially open the St. Barbara's Spiritual Shouter Baptist Primary School, located along the Churchill Roosevelt Highway in Maloney, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessor says the occasion is indeed one to be very proud of.
Today, records in the history of our nation and our land, another milestone in the journey of the Spiritual Shouter Baptists. The first major milestone would have been when the ordinance was repealed, 1951. And it would have been repealed because of the work of so many who came before us. And to those we pay tribute today, and we give thanks and praise to God that they never gave up, that they continue to work and to struggle. In the face of all the discrimination they faced, they never gave up.
The Honorable Prime Minister also emphasized the importance of education while also promising to establish a secondary school as well for the Spiritual Shouter Baptist community.
Education is the passport out of poverty. Education is the key out of poverty. The only wealth that we can give to our children that will inure to their benefit, redound to their benefit, will be a sound education. And so I hear your cry, Archbishop, on that of your community and mine. We will help you to build a secondary school for the Spiritual Shouter Baptist.
Mrs. Persad-Bissessor also shared her own personal experience while expressing her views on the value of education.
For myself, I would have been no one, I would have been nothing. I would have been a very poor, lonely person. But I know what has helped me and so many of us sitting here in this audience and elsewhere would be education. So let us work together to keep this school which looks absolutely beautiful now, to keep it a place of learning in your own faith, in your own traditions. We have 16 boards under the Concordat, boards, religious boards, schools. Today, and as we open this school, hand over the keys, we will record 17 religions with schools in our country.
Speaking with reporters at the event was Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and Communications, Dr. Surajratan Ramachan, who called the moment an historic one in Trinidad and Tobago.
The government has a policy on multiculturalism, and therefore we want to live up to that policy of multiculturalism. And so we are here today for more than just a celebration. This is a historic day. For many, many years, the Baptist movement have been promised a school, and it took the People's Partnership Government and the vision of the Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and the excellent work of Minister of Education, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, to ensure that this project was done in less than 6 months. So this is a very happy and historic day for the Baptist community.
Vuna Bharat, News 4.
Well, after a 14-year wait, the St. Barbara's Spiritual Baptist Primary School was finally opened on a day of celebrations as the Baptist community celebrated Spiritual Shout at Baptist Liberation Day. News 4 sought some reactions from members of the faith following the official opening of the school.
Great, great. I can't find words to express. It is for our benefit. We have something that we can educate our people, our children, and I am I want to cry. It's so great. It is, I don't know what else to say, but I love it. It is nice. I feel great. I feel liberated. I feel free, and I also feel educated because the school is open, and I can come here and maybe do some classes, extra classes in the afternoon, or even maybe teach some classes as well. That is how great I feel.
Very nice. It's precious, something. But they say with God, all things are possible. All things are possible. It makes a thrill in my body because it's so wonderful. I know that we accept it.
It's very good. It's great. I believe it's long overdue, and I know that the bishop, as Bishop Burke, have been fighting from ever since to make it a success, and you know it's a joy today to see that they'll be educated children in the faith, and for us to grow learning about the faith and the things that we do, and all for Jesus. Yeah. Right. So I give God all the praise, and to the Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the Honorable. God richly bless her, and I hope that she continues to do good work to help all nations, all faiths, all denominations, and all, so that children could grow in and be properly well educated in all the schools.
Very, very good. Excellent. Considering that it's a first. And in all things in life, there's a first time. Continuing thereafter. After the most powerful number in all numbers, numerically, 1. 1 stands predominantly, and all things come thereafter. So we have said something, this is unprecedented. So we have established a precedent here today that the universe can follow thereafter.
Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopi Singh is giving the assurance that the Ministry of Education will work closely with the Environmental Management Authority to deal with the environmental issues in the area around the St. Barbara's Spiritual Baptist Church at Maloney. The minister says the school must be made comfortable for students and staff, and has given an undertaking to have the problem dealt with by the time the school welcomes its first intake of students in September.
After 14 long years, the Spiritual Shouter Baptist community has finally gotten their very own primary school. Speaking at a ceremony to officially open the St. Barbara Spiritual Shouter Baptist Primary School, located along the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway in Maloney, Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopi Singh says the brand new school is a great accomplishment for the nation of Trinidad and Tobago. He adds that the event is one to be proud of as it reflects great progress in Trinidad and Tobago as a multicultural society.
And we will rejoice. We will rejoice because the lands you were granted by the former UNC administration to build this school so many years ago will now bear the fruit of your history, your culture, your indomitable spirit, and the promise of your progress as an equal sector of our beautiful country. We will rejoice because today your dream of liberation and equality in our country has finally been realized in the utmost form, as you now have the ultimate symbol of these noble hopes, that of a school to call your own and to educate your children in the religion of your forefathers and foremothers.
Dr. Gopi Singh adds that the occasion is one which calls for celebration, as it shows true delivery by government.
Indeed, it serves to remind us of the great sterling contribution this community made and continues to make to our people's rich, diverse culture. Their struggle against abuses, discrimination, and inhumanity, their powerful voice of inclusion and peace. 1 year ago, my dearest brothers and sisters, our distinguished Honorable Prime Minister promised you that you would have this school within a year. Today, the Prime Minister has delivered to you.
Also speaking at the event was Minister in the Ministry of Education, Clifton Dikoto, who expressed his sentiments on the value of education in society. He says education can be seen as a ticket out of poverty and boasts that with similar initiatives, the future leaders will be more aware of their cultural roots and origin.
Today's historical event demonstrates the reformation of our education system in Trinidad and Tobago. The vision of the new government is one of inclusivity, embrace, and unity. I consider myself to be an education activist. I'm convinced that it truly emancipates you from mental slavery. Education is the key to transformation of the nation. It is a gift that we grant to our children. It is a gift to ourselves. It is a gift to our future.
Speaking with reporters outside the event, Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopi Singh commented on reports of a foul odor emanating close to the new Baptist school.
Definitely we bring the Environmental Management Agency and they will have to deal with that. This is unacceptable. I understand that dug a drain this morning. They must have unearthed a number of undesirable noxious agents, and therefore we definitely be working on it. With effect from tomorrow, I'm going to make a call to the Environmental Management Agency to deal with this thing for us. I believe they can have it under control.
Dr. Gopi Singh assures that the Environmental Management Authority will be called in to address the matter. Veena Bharath, News 4.
When we come back, local government councillors are urged to play a more active role in the delivery of services to their burgesses. Stay with us.
Hi guys, I'm Wayne. I'm here today to give you all advice on what you should do and what you should not do in order to have a good beach day. First of all, learn to swim now, man. A little dog paddle is all it might take to save your life. Swim, the lifeguard is on patrol. And remember, stay between those red and yellow flags. Wait at least 1 hour after eating before going back to swim. Report any dangers that you may see to the lifeguard. And if in trouble, get on your back and float, wave your hand, and call for help. Now, if you can't float, that's where we, the lifeguards, come in. Now, to give you some pointers as to things you should never do. Never go swimming alone. Never fake actions or call for help. We'll never know if it's true. Next thing, and we go on our way. But seriously, we lifeguards are here to save lives. Remember, you have your responsibilities as well.
Corporations are being urged to take a more active role in providing services to their burgesses. Now, this advice comes from Local Government Minister Chandra Sharma as he addressed members of the Chaguanas Borough Corporation recently. Gregory Reyes has more in this report.
Sir Chandra Sharma is urging councillors and mayors at the various municipal corporations to take a more responsible role in delivering to the people. Speaking at a forum held at the Shogunas Borough Corporation, Minister Sharma said delivering to constituents requires a more proactive approach from councillors.
Meetings are intended largely for one purpose: how to deliver more. Simply. There are many arms and legs of it, but the intention really. But to deliver more, we have to start with ourselves. How do we deliver more to ourselves?
Minister Sharma said keeping the people in mind was key to being accountable.
Accountability is not only the expenditure of money. It is what is spent on. It is the time it takes. It's the environment friendliness of the product or service you may buy. It's the effect it will have on people and the side effects that it may have on the environment. So there's a global challenge now to reduce the use of plastics, for instance. There's a global challenge to buy only what is needed. There's a global challenge to cut down wastage.
He added that councillors had the responsibility of providing better living conditions for all citizens under their watch in their districts.
So everything is linked. We as policymakers, that's what we do. At the end of the day, we determine the quality of life our citizens will have. We determine the recreation grounds our kids will play on. We determine where the traffic will be or not be. And we determine the quality of items that will be sold at the market, because we determine the conditions. We help establish the conditions.
The minister says the series of conversations with staff members at the regional corporations is an ongoing process, something he believes will in turn affect the living conditions for all citizens nationwide. Gregory Reyes, News 4.
Time now for our sport feature, where we take a look at the involvement of the Ministry of Sport in the Trinidad and Tobago Pro League football competition. The ministry, through the Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago, is embarking on a project that will see the Pro League teams compete in their communities. And judging from this season's activities, the fans will be in for some excitement. W Connection FC would go on to capture the title in dramatic fashion on the last day of competition, and Wayne Cunningham has the details on how it all unfolded.
3 teams were bunched at the top of the standings going into the final day of competition in the TT Pro League. But only leaders TN Tech and second place W Connection had any chance of copying the title. All TN Tech needed was a draw to secure the championship in their debut season, but they were up against third place Caledonia AIA, a daunting task. W Connection had the chore of facing an unpredictable police squad, who sat in 6th place at the start of match day 21. Connection needed a win coupled with an AIA victory to secure the title and grab it from the Electricity Boys. It took both teams a while to settle down at the Attleboro Stadium, but when things got going, it was all W Connection. Andre Koshi opened the scoring in the 22nd minute. Ten minutes later, it was Hashim Arsia getting on the score sheet with a scorcher. It was 3-0 W in the 37th minute when former national captain Clyde Leon converted this penalty, and that's how they went in at the half. On the resumption, the lawmen were in search of redemption. They pulled one back in the 65th minute through Wesley John. But that euphoria only lasted 180 seconds because of this item from National Under-23 striker Shannon Winchester. At the same time, the news came from the Manny Ramjohn Stadium that Mackenzie Lewis just scored to make it 3-2 in favor of Caledonia AIA. As the W faithful prayed for Cali to hold on, Winchester's longtime striking partner, Jarrell Brito, virtually slammed the door on the law as he made it 5-1. Quashie with his second in the 79th. Brito with his brace in the 90th. And Kenaz Williams, in added on time, rounded out the scoring to make it 8-1 in favor of W Connection. And with the news coming from Marabella that AIA defeated TN Tech, the celebration for the Williams family was on, and also for the village of Savanetta. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
Well, as Trinidad and Tobago celebrates its 50th anniversary, and one intellectual thinker actually says that he's calling on the nation to think more freely. Dr. Michael Toussaint made the call at a forum to commemorate Spiritual Baptist Liberation celebrations held at the National Library on Monday. We take a break and we come back with that story.
We are reporting from communities across the country. People are calling Nalis Libraries their library. Tell me, why is Nalis your library?
My library is where I can have fun learning.
My library is helping me earn better grades with online research resources.
My library is my gateway to the world of information.
My library is providing access to the differently abled. As a visually impaired person, I can envision limitless possibilities.
My library is making my world truly worldwide with free internet access.
My library is helping me keep an eye on my health with access to the virtual health library via the Nalis website.
Nalis is my library.
Personal music players can stop you from being aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings and periodically look over your shoulder to prevent anyone from sneaking up on you. Remember, crime prevention is everyone's business. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Welcome back. As Trinidad and Tobago celebrates its 50th independence anniversary, one intellectual thinker has called on the nation to think more freely. Dr. Michael Toussaint made the call at a forum to commemorate Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day celebrations held at the National Library on Monday. We get more in this report from Gregory Reyes.
A call for a change of thinking. That's how lecturer in African diaspora at the University of the West Indies, Dr. Michael Toussaint, seized the experience of the Shouter Baptist here in Trinidad and Tobago. His comments came during his feature presentation on the evolving perception of the spiritual Baptist religion in Trinidad and Tobago, held at the National Library today. In his distinguished lecture, Dr. Toussaint says, only when this transformation in thinking occurs towards people who worship under this faith, true independence and liberation of Trinbagonians will occur.
The Baptist faith has been tried and tested, and today we have come to recognize our fundamental errors in judgment and the treatment of human beings who have one will: to know God, to give meaning to life according to how God dictates, to worship as they feel would connect them to God. And if we can begin to do that, we are on our way.
Dr. Toussaint says understanding the history of the faith is a start and called for more education to take place.
So John's faithfulness and community of followers preceded Christ. And that is the background from which the Baptist faith derives its name. But more than that, it derives it from water baptism.
However, head of the Spiritual Baptist faith in Trinidad and Tobago, Archbishop Alston Wilson, admitted that the faith has come a long way from being discriminated as how it used to be.
At that point in time, I was ashamed to own up that I was a spiritual Baptist, because we used to give those people, girls and boys alike, fatigue. Call them all sorts of names: tie-up head, noise makers, all these sort of things.
The lecture comes part of a series titled 50 Years Come and Gone, How You Feel, which is expected to run through the year in commemoration of the Jubilee Independence celebration later this year. Gregory Reyes, News 4.
And that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 Report. I'm Nicola Barreto, inviting you to join us every weekday for the News 4 Report. Do have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.